Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing episode 4 of the very last playthrough. For literally the first time in this channel's history, we actually got to episode 4. Round of applause. To start out this episode, we're going to be going ahead and getting some upgrades. Most notably, Vera wanted an upgrade to the emerald robe that she's been wearing for the past couple episodes, instead wanted to get a diamond robe. While she was down here, she found some extra upgrades as well, such as some life crystals. She found a nymph underground, which is good because she lost the nymph and the metal detector from the last time she tried to engage with one. See episode, I think, 2 for that mishap. And it did drop the metal detector. However, Vera does have to plunge into lava to get the metal detector. So, that kind of hurt. But in the end, we got it without dying, so that's good. Vera also shortly after found Tim, a rare mob that spawns underground. And this effectively means that Vera gets a new hat to wear. That's basically all Tim drops. Kind of sad, but okay. It's just how it is. She also found the skeleton merchant yet again, but this time he was selling a rare item called the magic lantern, which acts like a Spelunker glow stick, except it's active all the time. And of course, more sifting, because that is the most fun thing to do at all times. So, it appears that Vera got a couple diamonds from that, but it's not going to be enough. Slime was started falling from the sky, that'll be important later. And after a long while of searching, she did manage to find a gem cave, which consisted of sapphires and diamonds. And she was very pleased with this. That meant that not only will she get enough to make the robe, she'll have plenty of extra for other things that she may want to get in the future. Back at home, it was time to craft the robe, and she was quite ready for this. This was like 45 minutes in the making. And there it is. She gets an extra 20 mana to work with, in addition to having further reduced mana usage. Remember how I said that there was a slime rain going on? Well, that's going to come back now. At the end of the slime rain, assuming you kill enough slimes, King Slime spawns to attack us. Now, I am aware that Vera already defeated King Slime in the last episode. However, Vera, since it was basically free, wanted to see if she can get some of the items that King Slime drops that are actually good. As last time she tried, she didn't actually get neither the mount nor the grappling hook, which was unfortunate, but I guess we'll see if she can get it this time. There we go, King Slime's defeated, and not only did he drop the treasure bag, but he also dropped his trophy, which is a rather rare occurrence to see, so that's always nice, especially for something with zero cost to me. And King Slime also dropped the Slimy Saddle, which meant that Vera got the mount, which is quite nice. Next, Vera went to the Sulphur Sea to prepare some trees to be planted. However, at the same time, the Blood Moon rose while she was in the Sulphur Sea, which is not ideal, so it was speedrun tree planting time. Why risk planting trees, you ask? Well, A, she already walked all over here, and B, Vera needed the acid wood that would come from the trees in order for it to get one of the next weapon upgrades. However, as soon as that was done, she went back to the base and decided to start killing a bunch of mobs, as they drop blood orbs, which are later used to craft as potions as a potion substitute. It was also at this point, after the Blood Moon was over, that she decided that it was time to craft the Eye of Cthulhu summon, as she didn't already have one. So she crafted the suspicious looking eye. And then it was time to prepare the arena. I fast forward this obviously because this took a long time. But the good news is that because of her placement of her house in the snow biome, she won't have to actually build an extra arena for Cryogen later in the playthrough. Just simply modify the one she already has, which is going to be good for everyone. And with the arena done, it's time for the boss fight. I'll let you sit back and enjoy. Down to phase 2. Okay, and Eye of Cthulhu is dead. It was kind of a sloppy fight, not as clean as I would have liked it, but nonetheless, Vera did take it down, and Vera now has access to the Shield of Cthulhu, which is going to be a useful mobility tool for future boss fights. Vera is back at the Sulphur Sea to collect the trees that she'd grown, although something weird is happening. And normally by now, the acid rain tier 1 would have started. However, for some reason, it didn't. And because of that, she had to wait around for a long time to get the acid rain to actually begin. Normally by now we would already be doing it, but unfortunately the game glitched out in some weird way in order to produce this result, which is unfortunate, but what can you do? And because of the fact that the acid rain still wasn't spawning, Vera decided to go ahead and do the next thing she had on her checklist, which was expanding the house to accommodate for more NPCs. After Eye of Cthulhu was defeated, she can now get access to the Dryad and the Alchemist. Not to mention the NPCs that she had in the world but didn't have houses, like the stylist she found in episode 3, and the angler she found at the beginning of this episode. I cut out most of the building of these houses, because it's basically more of the same process that she used to build the first part of the house. And this precedent will be continued throughout the rest of the series. Unless anything novel happens, I'm going to largely be cutting it out. Unless, of course, you guys want to see it. I mean, that's completely up to you. But as you know, I try to keep my videos short and digestible, so that way, you know, it's actually reasonable for you guys to watch all of it. After the houses were done, she decided to go ahead and start exploring the sky and hunting for a weapon known as the Sky Glaze. Sky Glaze is a rare drop from harpies, which meant she would have to start killing them. However, the problem is that they appeared to start killing her instead, which is not exactly what she wanted. It is rather difficult to dodge all the feather projectiles from 5 harpies at once. So unfortunately, that led to a death. However, surprisingly, this was the only death of the entire episode. She went back up to the Sky Island. Of course, she didn't have any more gravitation potions, so she instead decided to go ahead and use a rope to build up instead. I don't know if you noticed in her inventory, but she also has a diver's helmet. Nice save, Vera. Nice save. She's about to collect another life crystal from one of the top planetoids. However, about the diving helmet that she had in her inventory before, she got that from one of the alligators, the thrashers, I believe they're called, in the Sulphurous Sea. She also decided to start exploring from her spawn instead of from where her base was located. And that was because of the fact that she wanted to get to the main planetoid. However, she forgot the fact that her base was not at spawn anymore, unlike I normally do in my playthroughs. So, some working around finally got her to the approximate location, and then she found the main planetoid and began to explore it. And this is where the annoying lasers will begin. About now. Okay, yeah, there we go. Unfortunately, Vera does not have the means to destroy the turrets in any quick manner, so they are going to just keep shooting the entire time she's here. However, while she's here, she goes ahead and collects the fuel cell factories and also collects all the planter boxes and herb bags from the chests. Vera goes ahead and leaves that island and goes back up to explore past it. And she was getting swarmed by harpies. Her health was doing fairly decently, but that's when she got the Sky Glaze. And the Sky Glaze is pretty effective against harpies. So that let her clear them out, and she got to the chest which she was looking for and got a Bezoar, which is an item which prevents Vera from ever getting poison. After that was done, she decided to go into the corruption, as she still had time to kill because the acid rain hadn't started yet. So she decided to break a few of the altars, orbs rather, and go ahead and see if she could get the Vile Thorn. Short answer, no. Instead she got a Ball of Hurt, which is what I'm feeling right now, as she didn't get the Vile Thorn. She went back to the Sunken Sulphur Sea again, and lo and behold, nothing. However, she did see a message that a traveling merchant had arrived, and thinking that he might have some good things, she went back, and she's glad she did, because he was selling the stopwatch and the DPS meter, which means that she can now track how much damage she's dealing with each of her weapons, and also how fast she's going. She went back to the Sulphur Sea again, but surprisingly, Aquatic Scourge spawned naturally. Now, Aquatic Scourge won't attack you unless you attack it, which is good because that thing would split Vera down the middle in probably seconds. However, it was definitely a fun distraction while being bored. So she's back at home now, and she noticed the fact that a goblin army was actually approaching, which is actually quite useful. She went ahead and healed up and prepared for the goblin army to arrive, which it did literally in about 1 to 2 seconds. There we go. Vera will get to show them the raw power of the Sparkling Empress against a large crowd of enemies. And powerful it is. Just look at that raw carnage. It is beautiful. Of course, I will be speeding up most of this process, as it was not exactly the fastest thing in the world. However, I don't know if you noticed, but Vera did get a new weapon already, which is the Plasma Rod. More in-depth showcase of her using it will be provided at the end of the event. So she ran out of mana from firing the laser, and then she decided to switch to the Plasma Rod to show it off. The Plasma Rod has a unique effect where you can either shoot directly at a target or inflict them with several debuffs for a couple seconds, or you can go ahead and hit the ground to have it break into 5 or 6 different branches. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but the acid rain finally did start, and Vera was overjoyed at this notion, as it meant she can finally now get the acid gun and parasitic scepter that she was wanting from all the way back since she defeated Eye of Cthulhu. I'm going to be speeding up the acid rain as well, as once again it wasn't exactly the quickest thing in the world. However, of course, I will be adding back the Pop Boppin' tunes from this event, which are actually quite nice. Actually, the music for the Skylands was pretty nice too, I just forgot to comment on it. Overall, the music in this mod is just beautiful. Well, I said it already, and I'm going to say it again. Just beautiful music throughout this entire experience. Major props to the composers. Now here we are at the end of the Acid Rain. However, she didn't get the Parasitic Scepter, so that means that she's going to go back for upgrades. She gets the Acid Gun, and she also crafts the Effigy of Decay, which will allow her to breathe underwater and resist the sulfuric poisoning of the sulfurous waters, which will make it easier for her to go ahead and gather the Parasitic Scepter, which you will see here. As you can see, she's no longer melting in the water. It just makes the entire process smoother. Since she wasn't burning from the water, she decided to go ahead and gather a Radiating Crystal, which is a light pet. It summons a Radiator pet similar to the ones that are from this event, which is definitely cool. This time, she actually did get the Parasitic Scepter to drop. You can see it right there on the ground. And the Parasitic Scepter is quite useful because of the fact it inflicts the Irradiated debuff, which both reduces an enemy's defense in addition to doing damage over time, which is definitely useful for boss fights, as the more damage you can do, the better. After the event was over, she also bought the Crimson Rod, and that is where we're going to end this episode finally. A lot was done today, but I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. See you soon.